All right, welcome back to the channel. Max Tornow here, and in this video we'll be talking about how to scale your online coaching business. So if you're right now an online coach and you feel like you're working too much in your business and you want to get more into like passive income realm, then this video is for you. But also if you just want to have a business that kind of almost runs by itself and is very lucrative with very high profit margins, and you have been disregarding online coaching so far because you were under the opinion that it's not scalable, then pay attention now, because I'm literally going to show you how to prepare to scale an online business, how to scale your sales processes, and then later on how to scale your internal processes so you can literally create a highly scaled, highly automated online coaching business. If that sounds like something you like, then pay attention right now. These videos are a little longer, it's a little bit drier of a content. If you cannot maintain focus for longer than 5 minutes, then this channel isn't for you anyway. Please go ahead and watch some Gary V videos that really motivate you and won't really make you execute. So anyways, let's get started. Let's crush it.
Have you ever wondered whether there's more to life than a boring dead-end 9-to-5 job? Have you ever dreamed about breaking free, traveling the world, making good money, and just enjoying life? No more office dress code, no morning commute, no boss. This channel is for you. So here's to your freedom.
Okay, so first and foremost, let's talk about preparation, because the crazy thing is people think about scaling before they've even started their business. They haven't made a single dime, they haven't made a niche, they haven't done anything. And they're like, but what about the scaling? And it's so crazy. They want passive income and they want to have everything scaled and stuff like that without having to put any preparation work in there. And that's why they revert to very whack business models, such as drop shipping or crypto, because, all they think about is scale, 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 scale. But the proper true businesses that are scalable and that will provide you with a very solid and secure future over years to come, those are the type of scaled businesses that first need to be built as a legit business, and then slowly but steadily you're refining processes. Okay, so you got to understand that. Preparation part number 2 is get the basics right. Okay, that kind of goes along with don't just try to scale. First, get the basics right. Okay, scaling is like the tip of a card house, right? A house of cards. And you don't start with a tip because the cards would just fall down. No, you start with a very solid foundation. The more you solidify that foundation, the more stable that card house will be. In fact, the card house should eventually be like a pyramid made of stones, like so steady, so properly done from the ground up that the scaling process is a relatively smooth process and that it doesn't just fall in, and just collapse into itself. Yeah, get the basics right. And then the third part about preparation is target audience. Okay, target audience. Again, big mistake when people say, like, I want to scale my business. You cannot scale your business if you don't know your target audience well. Again, this goes full circle, making you understand that you have to build a legit, proper business first. You have to make sales first. Only then are you, allowed to basically claim that you understand your target audience, and only then are you going to be able to scale properly on a rock solid foundation, not a house of cards. This is, by the way, on a side note, why we teach our clients to get to their first 10K a month, right? This is like our milestone, right? This is like the very bare minimum basic level is like, hey, get to first 10K first as a proof to yourself, to us, that you understand your target audience, right? Because you can claim you can understand your target audience so well and la-di-da. Okay, good, then go make 10K, You cannot make 10K if you don't understand your target audience. And if you have made $10,000, 10,000 euros, ideally within the time span of a month, right? Then it can only happen this way if you really understand your target audience. Why is that so important? Because as you scale up, the better you understand your target audience, the easier it will be. Many people that try to just like kind of circumvent this, like, I don't want to research my target audience, I don't care about that as much, it will later on come back and bite them in the A. All right, this problem will later on come back and screw you over. Oh, and by the way, a very, very great way to get a clearer insight into these very rock solid foundations is to go listen to our podcast. Okay, Nikita Gunkewicz and myself, Nikita is being our head sales coach, and we've created a podcast. You can literally check it out out right now. We'll show the URL somewhere here. Also, we'll put the link down in the description. If you feel like, hey, you'd like to have a little bit more in-depth knowledge and not just the surface level YouTube stuff, the podcast is for you. It's really, really great. We're putting a lot of effort into that, and I highly recommend you joining it. Again, link down in the description, link appearing somewhere here right now. So now that we've talked about the preparation, let's talk about the sales process. How do you scale up your sales process? Well, again, the only way to get there first is to make your first 10K. Now that you've made your first 10K, you basically, number one, double down on what works. Okay, meaning you're not saying, okay, I made 10K now with manual lead generation like we teach our clients. So you don't need a website, by the way. None of our 10K clients has a website. You don't need a big social media whatsoever. I haven't talked about any of this yet. All this is completely unnecessary. All you need to get to your first 10,000 is manual lead generation, meaning creating leads manually, closing them manually. And once you're doing that, you're doubling down on what works, meaning you say, okay, like I'm getting a lot of leads from certain Facebook groups or from certain forums on the internet, right? Double down on that because it works, right? So you can continuously make money. And then, only then, you start leveraging the power of social media, meaning things like Instagram or YouTube, okay? Only then you're using social media as an amplifier. You gotta understand that there's so many whack people coming to us saying they gotta build a brand first and they gotta build their podcast first, they gotta build their YouTube first. You don't need any of that. I have a YouTube and I have a podcast because we're making several $1 million a year, all right? Before that, you don't need it, okay? You don't need any of that. But so only then, once you're making your first 10K because you understand your target audience, once you're doubling down on the manual lead gen, now you're using social media as an amplifier, okay? Yeah, you can use it to double your sales, triple your sales, right? Triple times 10K is 30K. If you're making zero money and you're starting with a podcast and building a social media brand, then 0 times 3 is still 0. On top of that, you're wasting tons of your time, tons of your energy, sometimes even money trying to build a business. And then at the end of the day, these people come to us and want us to help them, and they have created a YouTube channel with 200,000 subscribers. Sometimes we have people that have 1 million followers on Instagram plus a verified check mark, and they have made zero money from that, you know, apart from the small brand deal. But you know, these brand deals are very subpar, and you can't really build a sustainable future. You know, you can't really build that rock solid foundations on that. So you got to understand that only then you start leveraging the power of social media. And here also, when I talk about social media, hear me out. This is, again, this goes against so many of what these gurus out there are saying. A small niche audience at all times trumps a big, broad social media following. Okay, like I said, those of our clients that are making above 10K a month, you know, these are clients that are making 80K, 70K, 100K, 150K a month. All those clients, they've started implementing social media as an amplification, and they have a small niche brand, meaning they have a couple hundred or a couple thousand followers on Instagram or YouTube. That's it, okay? Please get away from admiring the whack social media influencers out there with millions of followers. It's great, okay, you can admire them for whatever reason, but don't try to think that this is a legit business model, okay? So again, small niche following of highly qualified people will literally make you 100 times more money than the influencer who has a bunch of million followers following them, and that's, you know, a bunch of broke people, a bunch of kids, or a bunch of, if I may say that, horny dudes that follow you because you're shaking with your butt in the Instagram. Okay, so small niche trumps the big following. This influencer stuff is a whole now. Let's get to the next point, and that is scaling the process, the internal process, right? Because now you're making more sales. It's more and more automated, and you're like, okay, well, you know, I want to make sure to continuously provide value to my clients, and that is where you make small key hires. Okay, key hires. Not saying, this is a big problem. I see some people scaling too fast. They're like, okay, we're gonna get an office, we're gonna get this, we're gonna get 5 employees. Start with 1 employee first, okay? Small key hires. That's that 1 employee, because literally until now, you can be completely alone. We have clients making 70K alone with no employees, not even an office, none of these things. All right. The first hire that I recommend you out of experience to hire is someone who does a lot of administrative work. Okay, so for example, you're selling and you don't necessarily want to set up the contract and onboard the new client, etc. That can be now delegated to one of the first key hires. Later on, you might want to hire sales staff. Okay, someone who helps you closing these clients. Maybe someone who qualifies prospective leads that come in first, so you don't quote unquote waste your time on people that are not qualified enough, and so on and so forth. You make key hires, and then you hire assistants, and you can hire staff that helps you create that content, and so on and so forth. And then what you do is something that I call cloning yourself. Okay, and this is really, really cool. You're basically trying to make yourself as the founder, the CEO of your business, obsolete. So what you do is because at the beginning you're everybody, right? You have every position. You're your own assistant, you're your salesperson, you're the qualifying person, you're the person who does the social media, and so on and so forth. But you start hiring people who do that for you now, right? And in order to train these people, the easiest thing is to clone yourself via creating internal training videos. This is really, really sweet stuff. Back in the days, I would get a new employee, I would sit down, train them, make sure they do their job properly, supervise them over weeks, train them, and then that person would maybe leave after a year or two, and then I had to train that person again. So I started saying, every time I train a new person, I record it. Easiest thing, you could webcam record it on your computer, and then you can use that as internal training. So you teach that person via internal training, right? Now you need to hire a second person, or you need to replace that person at some point. You just let them show them that video, right? Now, of course, you still need to make them hold accountable, and you still, there's some things that you need to train them for that videos are not super good for. But at the same time, like 80% of the base things that you need to teach that person has now been done by a video. You've basically cloned yourself, right? And what is the end result of all that? We're already at the end of this video. What is the end result of that? Well, you're basically working on the business and not in the business anymore. You will get to that point, and this is super fascinating because every time we bring a client to our point, this happens every single time. For all of them, there's this one point where they kind of freak out, where they would message me or call me and saying Max, I don't know what to do. I'm sitting there and I have nothing to do. Oh my God, my business is it's gonna implode. And at the same time, their sales are going up and nothing is imploding. It's just that they're not used to things happening and to money coming in without them doing something. Because now they have the team, now they have the sales processes in place, and they're just kind of have become obsolete, right? And I think about this in my company. I'm obsolete for a great part. Sometimes I wake up and I'm there's nothing to do. I would message my clients, how's it going, and they're being helped and they know exactly what to do. And I'm damn, I almost feel bad. It's almost suspicious. Where's all this spare time coming from? And I still make all this money. This money's just coming in. And that's really, really great. So that is the end result of scaling your business properly. And no, you do not do that with some whack drop shipping. No, you do not do that with some whack multi-level marketing BS, okay? Get away from these. These are very, very not legit business models. And then, at the end of the day, when you say you want to get started, you want to be amongst my successful clients, we can show maybe some testimonials here of people that are either about to be scaled. Okay, so again, once they reach their first 10K, we say, okay, now you're ready to be scaled, or we show some testimonials of clients that have already been scaling, that are rocking it very consistently, very well, and obviously we continue to scale these people up until they're happy with the amount of money that they're making. But so far we haven't had anybody who says they don't want to have more. So obviously 10K, scale them up to 20K, scale them up to 50K a month, 100K a month, 250K a month, 500K a month, million a month, and so on and so forth. Now that being said, when you also say, hey, you want to be successful as an online coach, you want to scale your business, you want to do it more legit, you want to help people out, then you can literally jump on a free consultation call, right? Either with me personally or with an expert from my team. All you have to do is click that link down in the description below. That link brings you to a page, and read what's on that page because it's important for you to get started. And at the bottom of that page, you fill out the application. You can book the exact date and time where you want us to call you. That call is entirely for free. There's no hidden costs whatsoever, even if it's international, but it is only for action takers, all right? So you have to be willing to see results, and you want to see results relatively fast. And if you already have a skill, you want to monetize it, this call is for you, right? If you say you're already making money, but you want to scale it properly, this call is for you as well. And obviously, if you like the idea of being free as an online coach, but you don't know what it is that you could be coaching, this call is for you as well, because we can analyze your strengths, we can tell you what exact model fits well, we know the market, etc., right? Like I said, it's only for action takers. The spots for these free consultation calls usually fill up very, very fast. So if the link still works, it means we still have spots open. We try to get as many people as possible that we can help them, but at the same time, we are being overrun slowly but steadily because, you know, demand is increasing very, very fast. So if the link still works, it means we have a spot open. Talk to you very, very soon. Make things happen. You got to take action, all right? Thank you very much for watching, and GG.